Hello, readers. Today you are going to need your Save Me a Seat book. You will see later on today an organizer on character traits, and you will also be completing an activity on character traits that you will see on Seesaw. Today I want to teach you how to develop ideas about characters through their character traits. We need to think about their thoughts, their actions, and their words in order to determine what kind of person are they. We want to think about their personality traits, what they're like on the inside when we think of character traits. So for instance, this lovely organizer is going to give you plenty of different words for character traits that you can use. It's a great resource to have in order to think about new words that might not come to mind right away, to help build our vocabulary for character traits and expanding it. So we're going to really think about our characters, Ravi and Joe. And we're going to think about what patterns are we noticing that they're doing in the chapters that we've read so far. Today you're going to read chapter 7 and 8. And you're going to think about what kind of character traits are they showing through their thoughts, through their actions, and through their words. We can tell a lot about the characters. We can also see patterns as we're reading through these chapters. Have you noticed any patterns? So I'm going to show you how I might use an organizer to help me after I read or even during the time when I'm reading. I'm going to show you using a different part of the book, and then today you'll try it on your own on the section that you've read. And you're welcome to go back to the other parts of the book too if you'd like. So here are my directions. Inferring character traits. When we make inferences, we are using our background knowledge, but also we're using the information in our books to help us form an educated opinion. You'll be looking at character behavior, dialogue, and inner thoughts as you read chapters 7 and 8 in Save Me a Seat. Using the character traits organizer to help you, you will find which traits best describe Ravi and Joe using evidence to support your answer. So something that I came up with as I was reading the first couple chapters of Save Me the Seat, I noticed that Ravi has really displayed that he is confident. And how I know that is I look at his thoughts and I'm going to think, well, Ravi thinks that school will be easy for him in America because he was at the top of his class at Vidya Mandir. So he constantly reflects back at all the things that he was doing at school. So it tells me that he's confident. When I think about the so what, this makes me think that Ravi believes that things will go the same way for him in America. If you notice, I put the page number 16 where I found my evidence. That is super important. I had to take some time and go back in my book and find a piece of evidence to support my thinking. So the part I was actually looking at was on page 16, where even in the first line it says, Mrs. Beam tells us we are going to play some games called icebreakers. I can already tell that school in America is going to be easy for me. At Vidya Mandir, we never played games in class. On my first day at fourth grade, my teacher, Miss Arun, gave us a test. So this really supports my idea that I think he's confident. It is your job at the bottom of this to think of another trait of Ravi and think about a piece of evidence, if it's a thought, an action, or words he actually uses to support the trait that you found. And then you're going to tell me the so what about it. What conclusions can you draw from that? Let's take a look at Joe. I've also done the same for Joe. I said Joe was fearful, kind of noticing this throughout the chapters as we're reading. Well, I'm looking at his actions. So I wrote actions here. He has to watch Dylan Samreen because he's afraid he might do something to him, like make loud noises to scare Joe. I actually found my evidence on page 24 and 25 of the book. So if I go back, and if you notice, I put post-its. This is also, if you post-its at home, a great strategy to use to help keep track of your thoughts. So I looked down here and I thought, oh, okay, the new kid is busy eating his lunch and I'm done with mine. So I just sit there for a while watching Dylan Samreen. I do that a lot, not because I want to, but because I have to. One time in second grade, when I put my jacket down on a bench out on the playground, Dylan filled their pockets with dirt. Okay. So I was able to go back and directly find that piece of evidence about some of the actions that Joe might take to show that he's fearful. And the so what? Well, the conclusions that I can draw is that it makes me think that Joe has been bullied by Dylan for a long time and always has to watch his back. So what you're going to do after you read chapter 7 and 8 is that you're going to think of a character trait for Joe and mark it in this box. You're going to determine which piece of evidence. Is it going to be a thought, an action, or words he uses? And you're going to make sure that you give me a page number where you found that. And then you're going to kind of give me the so what. What does that tell you? What conclusions did you draw from that information you provided me? All right. I look forward to seeing all of your wonderful character traits that you found.